Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. Now the two major questions which we have is how to upload. That's the first question. And then second question which we have is how to download, but using Maven. Okay. Now in future, it may change your repository type. So the steps will be differ actually. Because you know that this is a lots of types of packages being supported and different types have a different instruction. For example, Maven I'm going to teach you now, but let's say tomorrow you get something else like example um, Docker. So Docker, I think I have already shown you Docker login, Docker pull and push, but NPM you get it in future, maybe some different project. Python projects you may get it. Golang you get it. So you'll be having premium service, premium, options, pro options. So that you have to check it out. So now, guys, do you anyone remember that in the list of Maven goals which I taught you in the last session? Any one of you would like to tell me Maven goals? All of
Yes,
you?
Raj, I remember Maven goals. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me.
No, I just remembered that you covered Maven goals, but don't know the
Okay.
sequence. Sorry.
Okay, so here those Maven goals are somehow we have to use it. So if you remember that everything in this case here uploading a Maven file. So how do we do that? So one of the Maven goal which we have in Maven and that is called install. So let me do that. So here we covered compile, then we do test, then we do package, and then most popular one is install, and then last one is deploy. So these are the popular goals which I discuss on the Maven section, and these are the things I showed you the demo. But this one and this one I did not show you the demo. Why? So basically, what is happening? Install. Remember that install. This will create a package which you know that, and install will take a package from target directory to local repo of Maven. What is local repo of Maven? What is this? Anyone remember what is local repo in Maven? Anyone?
Build.xml,
No, no. Local
M2,
repo. M2,
M2 repository.
yes. Wonderful. So guys, it's a local repo for Maven is M2. Remember, repo concept is global, okay? Don't attach with the Git only. Oh. This is local repo for M2. So now if you understand target directory to local repo of M2, which is here, and that is done by install. So now the question is what is done deployment is doing. So deployment is taking the file from local repo to where? To Artifactory. That is the one. Now if you want to deploy a package to Artifactory, the goal name which you are supposed to run is ambient deploy. Correct? Agree with me? All of you? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So now what we are going to do? Simple. How do we enable it? So first step you have to do, okay. modify a pom.xml. Rather than let me talk about that one tutorial, it will be easy for you. So just type Artifactory upload debugschool, and this tutorial we can follow. And this is the old one actually. This is you follow, and here you have a complete directory, complete instruction. All this thing it's already done, so I'm ignoring it. Okay, so this is also done. This I did it in the Maven session. This you also know that. This is also I showed you the things. Start from here. Stop. Step number 5. So where is the project? I think I did not delete that project. It's still here. See here. This one. Okay. So the first question is modify pom.xml of Maven project with the repository of Artifactory. And this is image you can see that in which I'll show you the demo. These all things you can recall the stuff. So can we do that? So let's go to the Artifactory and click on set me up. By the way, you can directly copy paste this one. It will work for you. But I'm not directly copying and pasting. Why? Because I want to show you certain functionality at Artifactory. So set me up here and set me up for which repository. So Maven, which repository local, and here you can generate setting, and in fact cancel this and generate deployment. See here, deployment, and I got this content here. I'll just go here and copy paste. That will be easier. So here, see, this is the one, if you remember. And here, that's all. Now this is the local repo which I created. This name can be anything. This name can be anything. And here is a central and snapshot such as ID. It can be anything. Here, this is for release. This is for snapshot. That means remember that two version of Maven we have, one release, one central. That's all, simple, copy paste, that's all. So that was the first step. I did it. Step number 5 is done. Now step number 6, you have to modify setting.xmls of Maven, and you have to modify, and I have to add this one, this screen share I have added so you won't get confusion actually. Okay, and if you see that there's one arrow between that, the ID must match of the setting.xml and pom.xml. So here you see that, don't ignore it. ID must match. So where is the setting.xml then for Maven? So I will go to my Maven installation directory, which is C drive, tools, Maven, conf, setting.xml. Now I must ask you to open it with a notepad++, because you know what? This green line which you see is commented word. But if you open up the notepad, you won't understand this. And you have to add the username and password for the Artifactory here. So if you remember, that username was deploy, and I forgot the password by the way.
Deploy 123.
Deploy 123. So deploy 123. So I set this here. Now central and snapshot. This you have to do two things. So copy, paste, and so sorry. Here it is. This will be applicable for pom.xml, which is here, and this one will be applicable for pom.xml repository here. We have only one repository for both the things. So guys, that is done. Central and snapshot, is it matching? central snapshots matching. That's all. So this you have to do that step number 6, which I just now did it. And then finally you know that this one. So now remember that home.xml, which is here. This is the information, and then I'll go for command line and run mbn deploy. That's all. Those configurations has to be done. It's a one-time activity. After that, developers will keep deploying your code automatically. So Maven will do everything for this.
This one is local, remote, or virtual deployment.
So local means somewhere in the hosted in the same server. But remote means you are creating a cache copy from the some other repository, which is not part of this Artifactory server.
Right. So the
Virtual
one that
means
we are
or
doing.
collections of local and
Yes, yeah, I
what is
got that. But the one that we are deploying now, no, is that because we have given the link, which is the remote, and then we have given the username password for the remote, and then we
no,
started the deployment.
no, I'm deploying to the local one actually. See here. This is the local one, right?
Okay, 13 dot. Okay, yeah, I
So
got
now
it.
if you
Yeah.
see here,
Raj, I have a question. Okay, so basically, like I'm just comparing with the application that we work on. Like trying to understand, right? So I have an application, for example, say, so it will have 10 different packages, right? For 10 different processes. So for web server, the package would be different. For application server, it will be different. For say DB server, it will be different. So all these packages will be stored in the the repository we select for that application. If I create a repository for that particular application for production, so that's where it will be there. Is
right,
that correct? Okay.
right. So
Okay.
it can be see what I did. I'm using the same repository for this stable release also and non-stable release also. You can keep it separate also. That's not a problem.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, so now if you see that I run the deploy already, and end of this line, first few lines, if you look at it little carefully, uploading da da da, uploading da da da, and all kind of things. Can we check now? Go to the Artifactory, cancel this, and refresh somewhere here. And go to the local, see com, debugschool, software, financial services, version, and this is our file. How come this structure got created? Com, debugschool, software, financial services, release name, jar files. See? So you uploaded the packages. Now understood?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you have to do? Simple. Step number 5, you need to configure your pom.xml. Step number 6, you have to modify the setting.xml with the permission for the repository. And then this is the magical command which you had in map. So this
In
is the
settings.xml, right? We gave the password of our isn't like I mean, usually we don't really hard code our username and password, right? In ideal scenario, like in real environment, right? Will we be giving some kind of uh, encrypted stuff, or it is just like this? We will just give the password and username.
yeah. So Maven, see, typically what happens, I'll put it in this way. This you configured in a server where you have a Maven has access to the deployment locations. So you can encode the password, you can encrypt the password, but this we have a mechanism in Maven actually through the third-party plugins. You can encrypt and encode the password. But remember, let me tell you, if someone has access to your server, okay, build server, that means he can do anything else also. It's not about the password for the server. Let me put it one more things. This user and password is not something which is protected to your organizations. This user and password is shared. I mean, you have hundreds of user developer and everyone is doing uploading and downloading some way or other way. So everyone has their own password actually for this. The only thing is like the password which you're going to use it. This is a DevOps password will have a wider access for many more things.
Okay.
So if your server is compromised, anything is compromised. Let's say you stored your password in some notepad, Excel sheet, or somewhere else, it get compromised because they're accessing the your laptop. VPN is compromised in that case also. Okay, so now that is done. Now next thing which I'm going to teach you is how to download using Maven. And this is also very simple, but I want to explain it to you so you'll understand that. So remember that I should have a two packages. So understand the flow. This is the Artifactory. Okay. And here I am going to have a two laptop. Please understand that. Laptop number one and laptop number two. Okay. And here I am going to have one package. Here it can be uploaded first, which I just now showed you. Now other guy want to use that package and download it, but using Maven. How can you do that? So in this scenario, you have a one project and then two project. One project should be configured how to upload, which I just now showed you, and second project it should be configured with how to download. So that is something which I have to do that. Are you clear with it?
Yes.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fake it out this scenario, and here I'm going to copy, delete this. I'm going to copy and make it this one chat project. This is my second project, and here I am going to chat project. This here target, I'm deleting it. Okay, now here I'm going to modify the dependency. So this I'm removing it, okay, because I don't need it. It's for uploading purpose only. And I'm going to increase the dependency. So how do we do that? So for that, I'm going to add, first of all, change this. This is a different project, right? Chat. And the version is let it be. And here I'm going to add the dependency. So I'll go to the Artifactory. This is the package, right? And here is a dependency. That means here I have added the dependency form.debugschool.software artifact name, and this is the version name. Okay, and this is the different project altogether. That means what I want in order to build this software, chat one, I want this package to be downloaded. So that I added in the dependency. Now the flow, it would look like Maven. You know that yesterday, last day we discussed in the Maven session. Maven would read the pom.xml, read the dependency, it try to find out the local repo. and if found out, then it will not try to go to central repo. So in a local repo, because I'm acting like a both the guy, see this guy also me, this guy also me. So local repo, I want to delete it. So I'll go to local repo, which is, I'm just trying, and I'm going to delete the software financial services. So .m2 repository com, what is this, com dot debugschool. So I'm deleting that from the local repo. Now what will happen if that is not found? Then it will go to central repo. The Maven will try to go to central repo. Now central repo is a problem because central repo, this package you won't find it. This package you won't find it. Central repo. Why you won't find it? Because it's a private package. So instead of central repo, I'm going to override and to the Maven and saying that, hey Maven, do not go to central repo. Instead of it, you go to Artifactory. It's a private registry, right? Go to Artifactory. Now the question is, how can we inform Maven saying that, hey, do not go to the central repo, go to the Artifactory. For that, you have to modify setting.xml of Maven, and the component name which you have is mirrors. Yeah, this one, mirrors. And with the mirrors, what you need to add it is something like this. I'm copying it, getting it out of this comment section here. Okay. So in order to override the central repository, you need to modify this component, this element. And in this element, the one which you're going to feed this one is your group
Your
one, group one here, because group represent everything, right? All the repository, correct? No?
Yeah.
And for the group, username and password is central, which is already matching with here. It will work. That's all. Now you may get confused with that. So here, what you need to do: Maven download debugschool Artifactory or something like that. If you do that, see here, this tutorial will help you. Whatever I'm showing you the demo, you have a complete detailing here. For example,
yeah, Raj, but that URL is a local repository URL, right? The 13 dot, the one that we pasted here in the
local
POM. Yeah,
repository.
yeah. In the settings file, we have pasted in the settings file mirror. We have pasted the mirror repository URL.
It's a group one.
This, okay, it's not local, is it?
No, I'm not downloading from the local. No, I'm downloading from the group. Why I'm using group? Because I'll put it in this way. Think simple. Your package you may have in a tens of repo. So are you going to mention tens of repo here? That's irritating, right? So
Yeah,
put it up, that way it will resolve automatically.
right. Okay, got it. Thank you.
So here I did this, and finally I am going to run this project. So where is that? Here. Here, command line mbn compile. The download will happen on the compile also, and there's a failure. The failure is, what is the issues? So
Just
failure
POM.
is, so it says the the following artifact could not resolve. So what could be the reason for it? So one more time, let me check that pom.xml of chat. This is
In
chat
that,
pom.xml.
yeah, in that one below the chat we have given financial services. Yeah, this.
Let me check. I've copy pasted, so that's not a problem. This is not a problem. The problem is something else.
Above this one, Raj. If you scroll that line above, we have given chat in the name, and then below that there is financial services.
This is good, no? It's a chat folder. Ambient compile, which is this is a pom.xml, and you should download. So the problem is something else, and I think it could not resolve the dependency. Could not resolve because com debugschool software financial services jar version absent. But if I see here, I have this one already. So okay, so let me do one thing. Let me change the release version because it's not taking. Okay, wait a second. I think instead of this one, let me open this one and run this. Says absent. And okay, so changes has happened in Maven. It has not read, I guess, because I don't find any scope of error. So and I'm just looking for it. Okay, hold on. Setting.xml, mirror of everything.
The mirrors is not closed. The mirror stack of the XML.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
that's
The code is correct. Everything is correct. But still, that issue is there because what happens? Maven is confused with a little bit of things. So now the question is, how do we force it? So I have used one command which I am not able to recall it. Maven force update, and so one time you have to do, and that is this one. So this should help me. Hyphen U is the one which is forcing, and forcing also has not worked. So now last resort should be okay. So last resort, what I'm doing right now is, because the version mismatch, I just want to isolate the problem. I'm doing the release now. So 1.0, I'm doing release for this product, the financial services. And here, this time I'm doing the release instead of snapshot because there's a version confusion. I want to isolate the problem. Is it a setup problem or version issues? And then I'm going to delete this from the local And now I'm going to validate, do we have the package or not? So artifact com software and financial services, refresh issues. Financial services 1.0, this is the release version, and here it is. So now this would be more clearer to isolate the problem. This is more clearer. Now I'm updating this one in chat, this version, which is a released one, and this version is more clear. Now with that I am updating the chat and it should download. Yeah, now it's worked. So basically there was this basically publishing the wrong version in snapshot, maybe some issues, we need to check that one, but now it worked. So now you see that this line is important for you. See, earlier if you do not specify the mirrors, it will try to download from central, which is repo.maven.apache.org, but right now it's downloading from my Artifactory, and that is what I wanted. So here dependency I mentioned, now download is happening from Artifactory. Why? Because in setting.xml I added this one. So these all steps you have to do in order to configure, in order to download any packages from Artifactory. All of you understood now?
Yeah.
Now these steps I have documented here. Same thing which I showed you the demo. You have documents here which will help you. Okay, so any questions so far?
I have heard some developers say we have to promote it to prod or something like that when they build and put it to Artifactory. So does that term is that term applicable here? Promoting to prod, something like that. I'm not sure what
No,
it is. No.
that's a release. That's a release process. What happens when you hear this kind of stuff? What happens? The simple architecture I'll show you. This is the two environment, and let's say typically three environment. Okay, so they have environment which is called dev, and then staging, and then production. Okay, and now there is one package. Now this package first get deployed in the development environment. Now if the testing is passed, then say, hey, promote that same build to the staging environment, same package, success.
Okay.
Then they say promote to the production. So this is a release process, and many tools are there as part of it. So some of the tools they may be using for it.
In the Artifactory, do we have the same setup for dev, staging, and production? Which
No,
means
Artifactory, actually the answer is yes or no. What is that here? So Artifactory has one functionality which they call it a build. And if you see here, build. And this build basically they have try to incorporate the CI capability in order to make it more efficient and all. But we don't use it. Why? Because we have a better tool compared to this, and that is
Jenkins.
Jenkins, Bamboo, TeamCity, GitLab. So many tools are there. So we don't use it actually. So they introduced this feature, I think last year, but it's not. I mean, it's not good compared to other tools actually. So for CI, you can use Jenkins, which is a part of this course already actually.
In
Okay,
my
understood.
company, we kind of have different URL for the repo for dev, UAT, UAT and prod. So I saw one development guy doing that, promoting it to different. That's what the word he used. So that's why I asked that question.
Yeah, yeah. Very generic word because the tools may be different for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you saw that in the admin sections, you have a different repository you can create. You have a different user groups and permission you can create. Let's say if you want to attach Artifactory with LDAP, this you have to do that. So this is a one-time setup, what you have. If you want to configure the security related parameters, any options you have, that's more or less the moment you read it, you'll understand. For example, allow anonymous access. You understand what exactly it is. Here, if you want to enable the Google Authenticator instead of password, you can do that. And few more options. SAML and all is not part of the community, but Pro, OAuth, HTTPS. So these are the way to authenticate Artifactory. You can use it. Now, if you think your internet is under proxy, so you should configure your proxy here. Many proxies you can configure it. So upload and download can be done easily. Apart from that, here in the view, you have some dashboard, and this is important, the one which I was showing you. Most of the time, 95% of the time you have to spend here. CDN distribution is not a part of our course because it's a different topic altogether. Pipeline also we are not discussing. Why? Because we will discuss in Jenkins part. And security and compliance also we are not discussing. Why? So let me put it up. This is not Artifactory features. What they have done it, let me show you. JFrog is a company name and one of the product is Artifactory. But what they are doing nowadays, they are incorporating all their product into one. You see, I was teaching you Artifactory, but they have incorporated JFrog pipelines also, distributions also, many other features also, and the same tools. They are trying to sell multiple features in one go. So that is how they're trying. But the core functionality which I want to teach you, that is there, not more than that. So guys, this is Artifactory. So I must remind you, all of you, you can create and store any of these packages like a generic one, Gradle one, Maven one, Docker packages, Debian packages, Python packages, background packages, Helm packages, RPM packages, whatever you see, it's supported actually. Understood? All of you?
Yes, Raj. I have one question. So here, can we see how many downloads or uploads has been happened on this repositories from the build
Uh,
module?
yes, that's part of audit. Exactly. See, this tools might not help you in those stats very well, but there's some stats you can get it. Let me see if you can quickly locate. Uh, let's say I downloaded just now financial services one, and here you see these are the stats you have: size of the packages,
Okay.
last downloaded, by,
Right.
here. Uh, remote download is 0 right now. So that means this is the number probably you want to ask actually. Because I've used the same server for upload and download, it's not there.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Raj.
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@debugschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.